Kia ora te iwi. This is Under The Whāriki, a podcast where we talk about topics and kaupapa that are often swept under the rug. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the presenters, Tahu, born, raised in Manaia. It's a little whārua kind of valley and whanga in the Coromandel of Māori descent, Ngāti Pūkenga, mā tātou te waka, horauta, and heaps of waka actually. Can't go through them all because we'll be here all day. Mainly mā tātou, okay? Mainly Ngāti Pūkenga, that's who I am. How about you, Tahu?
Kia ora. So my name is Anatola, and I'm born and raised in the 312 in Onehunga. My pronouns are she, her, but I whakapapa to the beautiful, beautiful paradise of a nation, Tonga. And then my mum is Scottish, Irish, and Māori, and she comes from Otatahi and Te Waiponamu. My iwi is Tahu. And I'm just really excited to talk about all these topics today and get to know Tahu more and beat him in all these games. And really share some information about some really, really controversial, I guess, touchy, uncomfortable topics that I don't know much about too. So it's going to be a good learning thing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to kind of like set the space up right before we get into some more corridor, we're going to play a little game, a little icebreaker. Yeah. So a yeah, nah, yeah. And so I'm going to say, well, Tahu can say it. Say the statement.
Okay. So it's a statement and we agree or disagree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah, yeah. 2, peeing in the shower.
Oh, yeah, wait. Let's get real
peeing in the shower,
quick.
Is it a yeah, nah, or nah, yeah?
I'm a nah, yeah.
Nah, yeah?
Yeah, nah, yeah. It's like your shower. Like,
There's also
it's
a toilet right next to it.
But like sometimes you're like, you see the water running, you're like, oh shit, I need to go toilet. Like, and then it just happens. Like, as long as you're not like.
Why would you say?
I don't know, because I don't have the goods to do it anyway. But yeah, your turn, Tahu.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, 100%. I'm so lazy. I'll never get out of the shower.
No.
Once I'm already wet, it's over.
It's done.
Yeah, I can't be arsed. And I often forget things anyway. And once I get in there, hear the running water.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't even care if my partner's in there.
Oh my God.
Out right there.
Because you never know, it just goes in the water.
Yeah, just try not to like.
Also, can I just say, for those of us who have to sit on a toilet seat, when you're wet and going to go toilet, it's the most horrible thing because you have to wipe down. Look, it's just not the one.
Sacrifice a towel to wipe off the ground.
Exactly. So it's just like, one and done.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, yeah.
Nah, yeah.
I'm with that. I am with that. Cool. That's our first icebreaker. We're getting real comfortable now.
Nice.
So our second one is 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Tell me 2 truths and a lie, and I have to check. I have to see which one it is.
I've done 2 lies, 1 truth.
Oh, I'll just guess the
one truth?
Yeah. I'll guess the truth then.
Okay. Yeah. I've read it wrong.
That's all good.
Sorry. Here we go. Yeah, okay. What A? I often have an intense urge to smell washing powder.
Okay.
B. I have recently fully shat my pants.
Okay.
C. I won 5 national boxing championships growing up.
Right. And I have to see what the truth is.
Which one is true?
Okay, so right.
A, B, or C?
So the first one is the washing powder.
Washing powder.
Second one is you shat your pants.
Recently.
Like yesterday?
Yeah. Not like as a kid. Recently. Yeah.
It's a full grown adult.
Yeah.
And the third one is boxing championships. Yeah. Okay. Oh. I'm gonna say you. I feel like I don't want to. I'm gonna say you recently shat yourself.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like
why am I not a boxing champ to you? Look at me. I'm an athlete. Look. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
You're correct. Okay, but I didn't break it down.
Yeah. Share your story. Share it. Yeah.
Because this wasn't intentional, obviously.
I didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to share my pants.
Today's the day I'm shitting myself. Nah.
Yeah.
And it's really embarrassing because, you know, you're the full grown.
Space though.
We're driving home back to my homeland, Manaia.
Yeah.
And down the coast. The coast is about a 35 to 40 minute trip.
Right.
From Thames, which is the last stop. And we had McDonald's there. And we had it, and I think it was yuck. And I was like, the whole time, like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. But I was like, nah, I can hold it. Only 35, 40 minutes away.
Okay.
I'll make it home. We get in the car. And pretty much as we drove out of the thing, I'm just thinking to myself, holy heck, I feel something coming on. My stomach's bubbling, everything. And every turn we're making is making it worse.
Are you driving?
It's a coast. Yeah.
You're driving?
Yeah. So, low-key unsafe at this point.
This is really unsafe. Health and safety is needing record.
I'm just the idiot of a human being, like, where I do stupid competitions with myself all the time. Like, we're like, so I was sitting there, we're driving home, and my fiancé next to me is like, you need to go to the bathroom, eh? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she's like, just pull over. We've got wipes in the back. It's all good. Just pull over and go on the side of the road. Because this is at like 12 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, just pull over. It's all good. Find your bush. And I was like,
oh my God, I can't even.
To myself, I was like, no fucking way. I've got this. I'm going to beat myself.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it comes to the next bit. We pass a public toilet and I'm like, nah, I'm going to make it. So I backed myself to make it home. And now we're about 5 minutes out from the next toilet stop. And I was like, I can pull over now and be safe because it's hurting. Like, I'm like bent over, like driving like this. And I fought through it with all I had and I made it to this toilet. I run out to the toilet and it says on the door,
oh no,
closed for maintenance.
Oh no.
And this door, like it's a normal 2 meter door. And, you know, Uncle's not getting over 2 meter door. And I just thought to myself,
fuck.
Well, you know, you hear about those stories of mums picking up cars for their babies. When their babies are stuck under it. I thought this was a life or death enough situation for me that I'd be able to scale this 2 meter door. So I'm standing there and every jump, like I'm feeling the turtle head pop out a little more. But I'm like kicking on this door and Che's dying because right behind me there's a sign Portaloo around the side.
Oh.
But I had missed it and this, I don't want to say it, bitch. Watched me suffer through this. Watch me suffer through this, and she just watched me laughing, and then she's like, she finally broke and was like, babe, there's a pool around the side. And I just like turned, opened up, and as I ran, it started to come. So I just like dropped my pants, and I'm running like waddling like this, like penguin waddling, shitting on the move. Okay? Shit down all my pants, and it wasn't a nice log. It was explosive. It was colourful. And this was on the move. Anyway, I made it to the Portaloo, and all the shit was gone. There was a trail behind me, and it was the most embarrassing thing. I fucking took my shorts off, chucked them at the wall. Pissed off ass. Yeah, I had to drive home naked. I forgot her wet wipes. And this was at 24 years of age.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the greatest story I've ever heard.
Recently, real recent.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it.
Were you mad at your fiancé?
At her, yeah. I was spewing, yeah.
Don't talk to me.
It was her fault, yeah.
You did this to me.
Yeah, it wasn't me
God.
who challenged myself to make it through the coast, yeah. It was her fault, yeah.
How do I beat that story?
Sorry, yeah.
That was epic. I love how I knew though.
Yeah, you did. Not a box.
Yeah. No, I was like, because I feel like that story was so out the gate. Oh my God, that's actually, I don't know how I'm going to stop that.
Well, that's how vulnerable we're trying to be this week on our podcast.
I forgot you were there.
I forgot you.
Too intense. Okay, we're trying to move along. Okay,
Yeah.
so I did 2 truths and a lie, so you have to
Okay.
pick out the lie.
Yeah, I'll pick up the
I'm
lie.
gonna say mine is not as great as yours, but we're
Okay.
gonna go. Okay. That was just the greatest story of all time. Okay. Like the greatest story. Okay, I was attacked by a wild pig while hiking.
Wow.
I swam with a great white shark over summertime. And the last one, I ran a half a marathon. So you have to pick out the lie.
The lie.
Be careful, Natalie.
Yeah. I think the great white shark is pretty unlikely.
That I swam with a great white shark?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Oh my God. It's because you went great white. If you had said bronze whaler or something, because I'm a diver. Don't want to be that guy, but I know these things about the ocean.
Right. Oh, yeah, I
I'm
know
Maui.
things.
I don't want to be that guy, but statistically, it's pretty unlikely that it was a great white. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so lie.
So you ran a half marathon?
I did.
Massive.
I did. I went, you know Outward Bound?
Yes, I do.
So I did Outward Bound when I was like 19.
Cool.
And there was no like, no, you can't. Yeah, nah. There's
wasn't
no
the
yeah, nah.
It was just
nah,
nah,
it was
yeah.
like, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
so I had to do it.
Cool.
I came last, but that's not the point.
No, you don't mention that in the
No,
story.
that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I
Yeah,
still
you're
did
a half
it.
marathon
I
runner.
did. I did.
Okay,
half
what about the
marathon.
pig? What happened there? How did you get attacked?
So I was, again, a toilet story, but I was
Right.
going number 1s.
Oh.
And it was on an incline, and I was...
So you're fully exposed.
I was fully exposed,
Yeah.
you know. I'm very fully exposed. And I was on an incline, and I had to go toilet, and all I had was... And it was like in the middle of the night. I was like... I was like, man, what is that sound? I was like, I'm a city girl, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
yeah.
I'm not good at this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. I need a real toilet. I need a real shower. I need, like, soap and hand wash. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
So already I'm freaking out, and I turn around, and this huge wild pig is jumping.
Ball teeth?
Boar teeth. So was it a boar
Yeah.
or was it a wild pig? Both?
Boar.
Boar.
Yeah.
It was a boar. And it was humongous, and it was charging at me. And it
And
charged.
had big husks,
Yeah,
everything.
it charged at me, and I fell and rolled down the hill with my pants on my ankles.
Oh.
And it was very traumatizing.
And nobody was there.
No one, I was screaming, like,
And nobody came to help?
afterwards I was like, no, fucking do this again. Fuck this.
And
Who's
also-
hiking?
You're a vegan. Don't you want some
Oh,
itchy
at the
on the
time
bacon?
I was eating the bacon. So the
Yeah.
whole time I was like, I'm gonna eat
Yeah,
all the
fuck you.
bacon. Yeah, I'm gonna eat all the
Eating your
bacon.
cousin.
So yeah, that's what happened. I was attacked by a wild pig.
Oh,
Yeah,
crazy.
but I don't think I was attacked. I think I just wasn't sure I was there.
Yeah, it got
But I
frightened.
had a headlight so I could see the full face.
Amazing.
And wild pigs are really scary. Boars
Yeah.
are really scary.
That's cool.
Anyway, that's my story.
Amazing.
I love that for us. I feel like we've gotten to know each other more better.
Actual. Anyway.
You more particularly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So the purpose of this
Right.
podcast isn't our shitting and attacking stories.
No.
It's actually about coping with that. We don't like to talk about too much, eh?
No. Yeah, so Under the Whāriki, basically we're going to be like addressing some of those topics that get us really uncomfortable, I think, and make us like really question whether we want to talk about it because we don't have the right language or I know we don't often talk about these things because they make people uncomfortable. So I'm excited to like learn and I'm excited to like share and listen and see where we go with some of these conversations. So I feel like it's a great opportunity because I feel like a lot of us have like so much access on our phones. Like we just have access to everything around the world, but we don't fully like actually know what we're consuming. So to be able to sit down and actually have a topic where we can like learn more about it to someone that knows a lot more, I think that's like really cool for us.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn and just wānanga
Hard out.
about these topics that often I don't even think about.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty taumā and pretty heavy, and I don't like to be down in the dumps too often. And not that they're things to be down in the dumps about, but they make me feel that way. So it's going to be a heavy, beautiful, revealing kaupapa that we get to experience together.
So each episode we're going to have a different guest and we're going to be covering a different topic, and the episodes will be released every fortnight. So, yeah, we're going to be on this ride together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important to know that I'm not a specialist in any of these things.
Neither am I.
So we'll just be outright learning with you guys, the audience.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
And I think even people that potentially know a little bit more about stuff, I feel like it's still good to always learn. I often find when people are like, I'm this or I'm that, they think they're the expert always.
Right.
But things change and information changes and our populations change. So we're always going to be learning about all these things. So I'm excited for that.
Pie.
Yeah. When we're talking about all these topics, do you often talk about these things with your friends and family?
Yeah, I think not enough, but it's not that it's a closed off kind of environment where we say don't bring those topics to the table.
Yeah.
I think it's just that it's like a oversaturation and sadness at the moment, probably from all of our social media consumption and all of the media. It's just media for me at the moment, especially because I work in that space. It's not very often where I'm willingly trying to have these conversations with people. But I definitely grew up in a safe environment where these topics were all right to talk about and all right to wānanga. Yeah, and especially with my mates. My mates are people who will have a laugh about anything and have a cry about anything with you too.
That's so important, eh?
Yeah.
I feel like because both those emotions are really valid, even when you're talking about really tough ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good to not always just live in the happy land.
Yeah.
And just live in this false narrative that everything's good because everything's good for you.
Yeah.
It's being a little more self-aware and aware of what's going on in our own homeland, which is massive and which is something I'm looking forward to getting into. How about you? Do you and your whānau openly discuss these topics?
My gosh, yeah. I would say I have a really beautiful group of friends who we're always talking about a lot of things. My mum's always been so open. She wants to learn. And what I love most about how my mum's raised us in our household is she's so willing to learn and listen, and she's really movable. She'll have an opinion one day, but if you have a conversation with her with more information, she'll go back and she'll be like, oh, I see where you're coming from.
Right.
She's really willing to change her perceptions of things. And she's really, really forthcoming with where she doesn't know much about. And I love that she doesn't have much of an ego when it comes to that stuff.
No.
And she's I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. And it's something I've always wanted to have more of, because I think sometimes when you get older, you're I know that, I know that, I know how I feel and whatnot, but she's just always allowed that. So I think growing up with her, she always created a really safe space for me to come to her and have an opinion, and then her be but have you thought about this? And I think that has really grown in a way where I have a lot of compassion for things or people because of her. So I would say conversations with her has been huge. For us Tongans, we call it, we say talanoa, which is it's a pan-Pacific term, but for Tongans we call it bo talanoa, which is as a family we talk with each other. So it's we say it's fofolo e whala kai talanoa kainga, which basically means let's lay out the mat and let's sit and talk. And as a child, even with my grandparents, who obviously hierarchy, they're a lot more they have a lot more power than I do in our culture and our family. Yet it was always a place I could question things and but what do you think, or how do you feel? And with my aunties and uncles, it's always been the same. And I think having that, it was always so natural to talk about things or question, and I'll be at a table and just have open dialogue. But it always have to be respectful.
Yeah.
Respect is always really important. So I feel that's made having touchy or tough conversations a little bit more easier, although they're still really hard. But, you have a little bit of understanding where,
Yeah, open enough to talk about it. Does Paul in your language mean no? Paul?
No, this one is I don't actually know what Paul, what it means in this situation, but it's as a collective, as a family, to talk things through, hold space with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the word noa in Māori is to whakanoa something, is to get rid of the sacredness.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
which
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
The more you
mean.
know. The more you know.
Yeah. The more you know.
But I think that's something for Māori, especially, it's to kind of just like get rid of the stigma of the toxic masculinity and the designated roles, things like that, where, especially since Christianity, as you know, and the Bible changing so much of our narrative as a Indigenous people, how we've been able to express ourselves and how we've been able to have these conversations has kind of been gated and locked away into this book of into this book of deal with it yourself. So this is awesome that we're holding the space to have this wānanga.
I think it's cool also because you as a tāne, me as a wahine. Like, I don't often see spaces where that's like, you know what I mean? Like, where there's like people of different worlds, I guess you could say. Because I feel like I mean, in my world, I see a lot of like wahine together talking about these things. And then so I've seen like a slow rise of like tāne talking about these things, but I don't often see them sitting with each other and having these really tough conversations. Do you have
No, that's right. Because like a lot of the podcasts that I follow, there's this awesome men's health podcast that I follow, but it's just like 4 men talking about it. Like, there's no conflicting perspective.
No.
Which, we've grown up in completely different worlds. You're city girl, Tongan, and I'm country boy, Māori.
I know.
And people don't realise how different Māori and Pacifica are.
So different.
Like, it's so like opposite.
So different.
They like love us into this one pile, but even in Māori, like the term Māori, back in the day, that's not even a thing. Like, you were known by your tribe, your kahungunu or your parau or your, like, you're so much different from everyone. Yeah, so it is. I love, and I'm quite an opinionated person, as you.
Really? No way! Oh my gosh!
So it's nice to test opinions and perspectives against conflicting ones.
And I hope that in this we'll be able to share like conflicting, like understandings and opinions in a safe way. Because I feel like a lot of people can have conflict, but they don't do it safely. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they're getting offended by people's ahu or whatever it is. Because I feel like it doesn't matter how you feel or I feel. We're both just human and walking different paths, seeing things differently. There's like, if you think about right or wrong, this is the way my parents always explained it to me, was if for us as Māori, you look at it as East Coast, West Coast, where the sun rises and sets. So at 6 o'clock in the morning in Gizzy, the sun is here, and it's right shining on you on the beach. But at 6 o'clock on the West Coast, it's dark.
Wow.
So who's right, who's light, who's dark, what's the time? It's both 6 o'clock, but two different environments and what it looks like. What 6 o'clock looks like to East Coast and what 6 o'clock looks like to West Coast is so different. I love that. That's all just environment thinking, and it's how it's that nature versus nurture kind of whakaaro and how you were brought up. But it's knowing, I think just being aware that the way you see the sun can be completely opposite to how the other side's seeing it at that time.
But that's why I think it's so cool hearing that, because I feel like Māori parents or families that come from an Indigenous understanding use environment to teach their kids, and it's wild how much you take that into your as an adult, where you remember those stories as like a young kid and be like, oh, how I've translated that into me as my life now, and like how important that is and how much I believe in that right now, which is so important. Hey, good job, parents. That's like mum and dad. Love that. You did good.
I'll give that metaphor to my kids too.
I have a controversial question for you.
Okay.
Because I'm interested in what if you believe in it, but also what sign you are. Do you follow astrology?
Not at all. But I'm a Libra.
You're a Libra!
Oh, no, don't get it.
I love Libra men.
Oh,
because,
really?
Okay, controversial take, but the girlies will know. I just feel like they look differently with people. Like, there's just like Leo men,
Right.
Aries men. Judging, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Just we're all thinking it. It's just a lot. It's just a lot.
Right.
Leo men and Aries men, they're just a lot.
Right.
But Libra men are great.
Really?
Yeah, just chill.
Right.
Chill. We love that. It's good energy.
Mind you, I'm like honestly, I don't know anything about that type of stuff.
Right.
But maramataka, I live by maramataka.
Yeah.
So I love those type of things. When it's fiddle, I feel down. I feel like it's time for wānanga.
Yeah.
Rākau nui, I'm up and at 'em. I want to go fishing, all those type of things.
I'm so with you. Me and my girlfriends, we follow maramataka, especially for our periods.
Yeah.
And when some of my girlfriends experience their period on fiddle, and my girlfriends experience their period on rakurui, and just like our experiences are so different.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just allows us to make sense. And I think that's why astrology is so cool too. Whether you follow like the Eastern or the Western or whatever, it's just like about planets and the moon and the stars and the sun. And like, I feel like all of that kind of contributes to who we are. So like, when I hear people like question it, I'm like, I get it if you don't like it yourself, but I think it's just another way to learn more about each other. Like, if I'm like introducing myself and I'm like, I'm blah, 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 I'm this. And then I'm telling you, like, it's just another way to get to know each other more. So I think it's just another tool for that. But I love maramataka, and I think all of these things like just help us understand ourselves more, you know? So.
And just having a belief in something, okay?
Something.
Yeah, I don't care what you believe in, just believe in something.
Yeah, just something. What, you think we're just going to evaporate from existence? No, I think that, because I think like it makes us understand that we're so much smaller than we are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we're just like this little dot in comparison to the world and the people that exist in it. So it's like, I think it's a really humanizing experience when we realize like, oh, we're just connected to all these different things that make up the world.
Huh. Where are we even in this show?
Astrological talk.
Yeah, wrap it up. Why are we talking about astrology?
Well,
all right.
Why are our communities so fucking mad to talk about some of these topics?
Straight on to...
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this season?
Yeah?
What are you looking forward to this season and then wrap?
Yep.
Cool.
All right. We just went left field as there.
We so did. Sorry. I was like, I really want to know what astrology you are. No, I'm going to be judging you. No, No, we love Libra men. So I'm just thinking about that now. So what are you looking forward to this season?
I love specialist opinions.
Yeah.
Like people who know things. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like actually know.
Yeah.
Because you have so many conversations with people and they're just like spewing bullshit.
Yeah.
I like facts.
Yeah.
And I also like to like be like, are you sure you know that?
Hey, sure. How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know that that's the right fact?
What Instagram post did you read?
So it'll be cool to kind of decipher what their teachings are for us this season, and just to sit back and maybe take a couple things away for me to grow and learn from, and hopefully our audience, but mainly me.
Yeah. Maybe it's about me.
No, but yeah, I'm looking forward to learning and unpacking these wānanga that I don't often attend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I feel like because as adults sometimes, quote unquote, as adults, I don't even know what that means, but like when you get older, people don't often aren't any curious anymore. Like they don't want to learn more. They just want to stick to their own lane. And I love when I become a student again. I love just like sitting and being like, but what about this? But how? But like why?
But why?
Yeah, and like, and how did you experience that? Or like, how do you see the world? Like, I think that is so exciting because it's like you don't stay stagnant in your thoughts or your opinions or whatnot. I think you're like always trying to move forward and like how you see the world. So I feel like I'm so excited about that. Like, as you said, like specialist opinion, but also like human opinions, like just like how we exist as humans and like, I know it's so cheesy to say, but like how we love and how we feel hope and how we like get out of this like tough situations we exist in and how we get back up. Like, you know, there's no real rule book, but like maybe if it's worked for you, then maybe it could work for someone else.
Yeah.
I love that. So I'm excited for that for this season.
And that's pretty much Under the Whāriki, a big ball of mātauranga and wānanga to unpack. So hopefully you guys will come join us on this journey, on this Airinga we're about to go through and see how you guys feel about it too. What you guys learn.
Yeah, and it's going to be cool to kind of like get this all out on this comfy couch, and you'll be seeing us every fortnight. We're excited. See you soon.
Come along.